We'd like everyone here to be enchanted by nature and to refresh our reverence for nature. And we hope that the more enchanting we find nature, we'll feel more inclined to protect it, because there are many wonders in the world. Earth's magic shows up in a lot of ways, and they're often unexpected. Laura, Steve, Peter, and Roger will now share some of their moments of enchantment. And as we listen, we invite you all to remember those simple, awe-inspiring moments in nature that have enchanted you.
The earth is what we all have in common. The earth has always been a part of my life experience. I helped my parents weeding the gardens, mowing the lawn, raking leaves. I loved the flowers each season brought to our yard. When I met Ken, early memories are of us visiting Connecticut state parks. Walking along forested paths increased my awareness of the beauty of our earth. Two favorite hymns are For the Beauty of the Earth and America the Beautiful. When I was teaching in Vermont, no matter what the season, on Sunday afternoons, I would walk or ski a path in nearby woods, soaking in solitude and resilience for the week ahead, giving me strength. Tent camping throughout New England brought me closer to my beloved Mother Earth. The woods, plains, mountains, valleys, trees, and rocky shorelines all held special meaning for me. Even now, just being out in nature restores my soul and renews the blessings I am thankful for. This Earth Day, the theme is Our Power, Our Planet, focusing on renewable energy, clean electricity, and ending plastic pollution. Our Gaia, or land, our ancestral Mother Earth, needs our attention in positive ways. A short reading from Chief Noah Sleth follows. We belong to the earth, this we know. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. This we know. All things are connected, like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons and daughters of the earth. We did not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like you to notice my Navajo designed pin here. Earth, fire, water, wind. And there's mother, sun, sister, moon. So keep these things in mind as we go through our Earth Day. You actually want to hear me?
Yes.
After all these years. All right. So about the wind. We are so fortunate to live here on Martha's Vineyard, where every day we can experience sea breezes, soft and quiet or loud and intense, but they're always there. I can remember many mornings heading out from Lagoon Pond into Vineyard Sound for a day of fishing with my good friend and fishing buddy Ken. With Ken at the helm of his 20-foot boat at 6 a.m., the wind has a sharp coolness to it. That lets you know it's time to be awake and ready for a day at sea. This gentle breeze on my face turns to a stiff wind as Captain Ken leans into the throttle to execute what I call the BB blast. We fish off West Chop, drifting along the rip. If the wind is right, seagulls will follow the boat, staying almost motionless, letting the wind hold them in place. As the day warms with the late morning sun, I start shedding shirts, letting the warm wind soothe me. Many, many times I told Ken, even if I never caught a fish, I would be happy out here letting these gentle breezes calm and relax me. So if you ever feel the need to be free of the stress of success, find your way to a calming sea wind. Amen.
So I'd like to talk about fire, because fire has meant a lot to me as I've grown up, whether it was gathering wood with the family, splitting wood, building fires. And for some reason, I always remember how my father used to start the fire in the fireplace by putting a piece of paper across the top of the screen. Does anybody ever see that? It creates a wonderful draft underneath the paper, and the fire just goes exploding. It's beautiful. Try it sometime. I also remember the beach parties that we had growing up, and the whole idea of gathering around a fire to sing. And I always remember the fact that my brother-in-law said, how come you don't have beach parties with people of your own age or younger? And there was a group of 6-year-older people that had wonderful beach parties with a lot of songs, and there was just a great activity. And I said to my brother-in-law, they don't know the songs. Anyway, I go on to Boy Scouts. I didn't have much inclination to do all these tasks, but I loved going out overnight and sitting in front of a fire before we went to sleep and just crawling into that sleeping bag and so forth. So this idea of coming together with fire just is something that warms me. Clam bakes. How many people have been to a clam bake? And how wonderful that is to be sitting around and eating that food that you've just cooked and prepared. So that's what I keep thinking about. And another time that came to mind was gathering around a fire when we went to Africa. You know, out on the, I guess it's savannah, is that how you pronounce it? Anyway, we all gathered and sang around a fire. And then the last one is not really about a fire, but I've never had more fun or feeling of togetherness than splitting wood with my neighbor. We had a wood splitter, and you just, oh man, are we splitting wood? And the result, of course, was that we had wonderful fires afterwards. Thank you.
Good morning. I was hoping that Mimi was going to have me talk about my first Earth, Wind, and Fire concert, but she gave me water. And I thought, what a great day to talk about water. There is a river in the severest droughts, it never fails, and in the mightiest floods, it never overflows. Its banks and its bottom are of cold water, and its current is of warm. What is this river? Steve? The Gulf Stream. I recently read a whole book on the Gulf Stream, and it was pretty amazing for something that no one has really figured out exactly how it works or why it works. And it had so much influence over the centuries on global trade and on colonization of North and South America. But it was a long and scientific book, and I've decided not to do a scientific talk today. I've almost always lived near the ocean. I had a couple of short stays in Detroit and Chicago when I was young, and at that age, the Great Lakes seemed like oceans. Linda and I both grew up in New Jersey, and so we often went down the shore, as Jerseyites say. And then when we were first married, we lived on the coast of Connecticut on the Long Island Sound, and before a move to Atlanta. And we thought, well, Georgia's right on the coast. No one bothered to tell us Atlanta's a 5-hour drive to get to the coast. So we made do with the Chattahoochee River for a while. And then we moved to Washington, D.C. on the Potomac River and the coast of North Carolina before our island moves first to Amelia Island in Florida and then here on the Rock to Martha's Vineyard. But it wasn't until I turned 60 that we moved from being near the water to being on the water when we bought our very first owned boat, a trawler. And it made such a difference to me to be the captain instead of to be a crew or a passenger on a boat. And it was a whole other set of responsibilities and things to learn, and most with a sharp learning curve, but it gave us a great appreciation both of weather and water. And while we'll probably never be full-time liveaboards, will we? There was nothing quite like the first night we anchored out by ourselves, and we were in about 15 feet of water in Friday Cap Creek, just off the Intercoastal Waterway, just west of Little St. Simon Island in Georgia. And we had set the anchor and taken some bearings off the shore to make sure we weren't dragging. And after a short rum drink, we fixed dinner on a little grill off the side rail. And that night, we slept and could hear the water lapping against the hull and experience the 180-degree shift in the current of the river. The next morning, after coffee and the French press, we got up and weighed anchor and continued north on the Intercoastal Waterway. And I think since then we've had many nights at anchor and many more nights aboard the boat, but there'll never be another first night at anchor. And I think that first night was really the one that sealed our love and appreciation for being on the water. Thanks.
Okay, we're going to sing again. Number 1064 in the Teal Book, and this time we'll sing it exactly as it's written. So please rise as you're able, and please remain standing afterwards for the benediction. And then after that, seat yourselves, and we'll go right into the new member ceremony.
What is
our benediction is by the Reverend Sarah Speed. Blessed are you who turn your face up to the sky, who open your arms to feel the wind, who notice all the things that we should notice. Blessed are you who are fluent in wonder and familiar with awe. Blessed are you who, even now, dream dreams, who have not lost hope, who swear the glass is still half full. Blessed are you who plant trees and sing the harmony, who tell children how this world can be magic. Blessed are you who walk and seek and turn over every stone, pointing out all the corners and colors that God lives in. Blessed are you. Amen. Blessed be.